Welcome everyone. Today we have a special gacha guide video. In this video, we'll look at 2 of the gacha series between the single summons versus 10 times summons. And in one of the theories, we'll look at how single summons can effectively save more of the summons. We'll also look at the use of perceivable number generators, which are not truly random, with the gacha games, and how we can use this to our advantage, perhaps to duplicate something of this nature. I'm sure you might have seen the thumbnail over here. This is one of the fascinating thumbnails. I was really surprised by it. So this was posted by Noel here on our Discord. If you haven't joined our Discord, definitely check it out. We do have a pretty friendly community with lots of people talking about Genshin Impact. So I was looking at the gacha screenshots, and first, to my surprise, I saw the Chi-Chi and Kachin. And my calculation of the rates was that it will be 0.0036% to get 2 of the 5 stars together. And then someone sent this post because his friend got 4 Ventis in a row. So in our second theory, which will look at the pseudo number generator, we will not just look at how lucky the player was, but we'll also look at how is it possible to duplicate, of how to take advantage of possible events within the game and maybe generate or replicate something similar to those lucky gachas. I'll also be showing you some of my replays of me getting on the Klee banner to test the single summons and multi-summons. And lastly, we'll talk about how this whole theory is not about promoting spending, but rather to help us understand and save precious resource. Now, if you haven't subscribed, this is a really good time to do so. Make sure you also turn the bell on for the latest news as I find more of them for us. You can see that we're really dedicated for Genshin Impact. We'll have builds, guides, tips, news, and events updates for everything that's Genshin Impact related. The first gacha theory that is available with Genshin Impact is the single unit summons. So let's look at 2 example cases. With case 1, we're doing 10 multiple summons and we get a 5-star item between the 40th and 50th row. And in case 2, we're doing single summons and between the 40th and 50th row, we get exactly on the 44th row. So what that means is, on case 2, we have saved 4 summons. We didn't have to achieve 50 to get the golden item, and we stopped summoning at the 44th pool. This means those 6 summons is accumulated for the next 90 rows for the PT system or for the gacha system to guarantee the next 5-star item, and it's not used on the previous rows. For case 1, this is not the case because nothing is accumulated for the 90 row. It's counted together between the 40 and 50, and the 5-star item that it was included within the system is going to be counted. So none of the 40 to 50 rows actually counts to our next 90 row. Here we could have saved 6 of the rows if we used single summons over here, and this accumulates further onto the next banner. Now, this single unit summoning theory is great because we can save precious resource and work towards on getting the next 90 pools. And some of my viewers have tested this and they have said it works. So this is confirmed. And it's good to know when you're doing the summons, you can consider doing the single summons. But what are the reasons why you want to do the multiple summons? It's because of this, the pseudo number generator. Now, if you don't know what exactly it is, what you can do is you come to the wiki and have a quick look at it. It is quite complicated. I have touched on this before in my previous studies, and also I've touched it on the previous gacha games, so I have a bit more knowledge to it. To simply explain what this means, in most of the gacha games like Genshin Impact, we're constantly having a big dice within the characters or within the account. This dice is probably going to roll somewhere between 1 and 1000, and if the dice happen to land on 1 to 6, we're getting the 5-star item. If the dice land on 7 to 57, we're getting a 4-star item. And if the dice land between anywhere from 58 to 1000, we're getting a 3-star item. Those numbers are not random. Those numbers uses the rate from the gachas. So 0.6%, 5.1%, and 94.3%. Now, this particular dice of RNG within every account is random, and this can also be a fixed interval. So how often does the dice rolls? Each time the dice rolls, most people refer to this as seed. Don't really have to worry about this too much, but the focus is that most of the gacha games don't tell you how often the dice is rolled. So how often does your luck change within your account? People do try to test the seed or the luck within their account with some events that can be associated to the luckiness of the account. It is very hard to test the water because the shorter intervals of the dice might roll every 2 seconds or it might roll every 1 second. So we don't know exactly how frequent it is rolling. Also, the in-game animations, as you can see in my replays after this one, the animations between each time you gacha, even for the single pull and the 10 pulls, there is animations that stops you from taking advantage of the dice intervals. So if the dice is not rolling too fast, the animation prevents you from, getting super lucky multiple times. Now, it is possible to test the seed or the luckiness of your account within the game, but it's a little harder to determine if this is associated or linked to the dice of the gachas. So for my example, we'll be looking at getting a 4-star rare artifact from a random mob drop. This is not from the artifact dungeon or from the bosses, this is just from a random monster. This is very rare, and this may be because my account is getting lucky in this moment, and then we can try to go for gachas and take advantage of it. Now, if we come back to this particular gacha post and this picture, we can see, there's 4 ventis being rolled in one gacha row. And the reason of this being possible is that multiple 5-star items with the 10 times rolls can have the seed or the luckiness staying on 1 and 6. When the account has those rolls between 1 and 6, that means the account is currently being lucky, and if it stays there long enough, this is how it's possible to duplicate or maybe get something similar to, maybe not 4 ventis, maybe getting 1 or 2. So you see other posts that people have been getting 2, maybe 3 legendaries because their account is currently deemed as the lucky rolls. So over here you can see me with a replay trying to kill some of the trolls to farm for some items, just my daily farm routine. And all of a sudden I got a purple artifact from the troll monster, and this triggers me to consider, hey, is my account being lucky right now? And if my account is abnormally lucky in this moment, can I capture this and go for my gacha rolls and try to get something lucky? And if you guys saw the video before this one, we were about 5 or 50 rolls away from getting the guaranteed 90 pulls on the Klee banner from yesterday. And I was fortunate enough to get a donation to get enough rolls for the next 50 rolls. So I have the gems ready, and this was very convenient because having the gems ready, I can test out if my account is being lucky right now. So what I did was I started summoning. And as you can see, the first summon is nothing. We didn't get anything special, we got 1 purple over here. Now I did decide to record myself during the live summoning session. I felt that it's more worth it if I show my emotions and how we look at the randomness. And also keep in mind, this particular replay that will be played, we're testing 2 things. We're comparing single summons between the 10 times summons, and also I feel my account is being lucky right now because of the 4-star item that was dropped from the random mob. So here I'm assuming that let's see if we can get a 5-star item before we have to go to the 50 PT. So if I summon 50 times, I would have gotten a guaranteed 5-star item. And if I don't summon, 50 times, then anywhere between 1 to 49, that means my account is pretty lucky. Yeah, I thought since we're summoning, we might as well do the live summoning session than just me recording the summons. Ooh, we got Shinchi. That is the character I was not hoping for. Hey, Sakuras is good. Not bad. So I want Sakuras, I want Noel, guys. I think I'm 2 Sakuras away or 3 Sakuras away for the full constellation, and about 1 Noel away for the constellation too. So we have 40 left. So, oh, that's right, I'm not supposed to use this, I'm supposed to use this. So we had to test the single wishes. I'll explain why. This will take a while. The single wishes, I'll make a formal explanation about this as well. It's that the history recording will be different. We still get every 10, we should still get the guaranteed unit. Oops. What happened? I really want to see if this works with the single wishes. Might not though, but it's a testing. Oh gosh, at least I'm doing 40 singles. Ah, look, we got a bell. And this is not the every 10 one, I believe. When we get to 4,800, it becomes the every 10th one, and that guarantees a character or a weapon. So I still like the multi-wishes because you stack everything together, but in reality all the probabilities are the same. They should be independent. So this should be the one that gives up purple. No, it did not give up purple. That's strange. Shouldn't this one give it purple? Or did it get taken by the other ones? Was the bell the one that took it? Secret summons are scams. So, I'm gonna do 10 more single summons, then we're gonna try the multi-summons again, so we're gonna compare the two. So single summon has not given us anything. Let's see if the 3800 one does it. Let's have a look at the purple. Oh, I think you again low. Not Shinku. Oh, that's a purple. Okay. Maybe single summon can work. Oh, oh, Razor, nice. Okay, that's new. I think that was the guarantee. The Razor was the guarantee for the purple, I think. Because keep in mind, guys, even if we do every 10 wishes, even if single summon, we still get the guarantee here. Now, if I get a legendary, this is my plan. Because what I'm hoping for is that we actually can separate the history of each of the summons, so this way we can count, and this allows a better calculation for the future. So out of the 20 single summons, we got 3 purples, not the highest rate. We got a weapon, we got 2 characters. So we're gonna do 1 wish. Wait, it's a 10, just to compare. The last 10 will be... Oh, gold! Oh my gosh, gold cave. I was gonna say the last 10 will be used to calculate single summons, but it never worked. We got Klee. I can guarantee that we got Klee because of the gacha mechanics. If this was wrong, guys, we would know. This can prove if all the gacha theories and mechanics we talk about is correct or wrong. If we don't get Klee here, that means it's wrong. We're supposed to get Klee. On top of that, well, let's just look. I will not delay our anticipation any further. Hey, Sakura's not bad. Oh, I need a Noel though. I'm like 1 Noel away, and 1 Sakura's away. Klee! Yes! We're correct! Yes, okay. Can I get another gold? No, no more. Oh boy, I did not get 1 single Noel. What can I say? So, yay, we got Klee! Hatching! But again, keep in mind, guys,
let's go on a
it's great to get new characters, but I did get a donation for that, so it's not, you know, it's not that I was initially prepared to spend money into the game, because we also got Genshin. So definitely keep that aware. Does she show the treasures? I don't see any. Oh, there's a hand. See, notice here, there's a hand. Okay. Let's go and have a look. Oh, she's so short and she can't climb much. So cute. Oh no, it's empty. So let's have a look here. Let's have a look. So the Klee has a little hand there, right? Oh, it's a mushroom. Hello. So, Klee is a little mushroom girl. If you look into Klee's like ascension requirement, she wants mushrooms.
Dodoko?
A lot of mushrooms.
Dodoko, where are you?
So when they say unique treasures, it turns out it's mushrooms. She shows where you to find all the mushrooms for her, and apparently there's a lot of them. Oh, there it is. So okay, this is what the Klee's unique ability is. She helps you to find her ascension and talent material, which are the mushrooms. Now coming back to our summaries, after having a look at my summoning replays, and also I was too happy with Klee, so I showed her around with her passive. So keep in mind, this summoning session was a small sample to test things. It is not indicative and is not a big representation of how things will do all the time. So this is just a small test for me, which I had the chance of doing this with the luckiness of getting a 4-star artifact from the mob. So after trying the 20 single summons and 20 multiple summons, I'm looking at 3 purples with 1 weapon and 2 character from the 20 summons with each of them being single. I'm also looking at 3 purples and 1 gold for 4 characters with 2 of the multis. Keep in mind, we only did 40 rolls, so we didn't take ourselves into pity, and we're extremely lucky because of not having to be pity. We saved 10 rolls, which is 1,600 gems. Now, it is very difficult for me to conclude if this method is working or I just got lucky on this particular account during this particular time. So keep that in mind, guys. And also, I wasn't able to fully test the single summon theory, which is the first theory. The first theory says we can use single summons to get a 5-star, then we stop there, and the next few we save is going to accumulate for the next pool of the 90 pools. So I wasn't able to test that one because I did not get the 5-star on the single summon. I got the 5-star on the multi-summon, and it seems to be my account was considered as a good seed or lucky during that time. Now I know all these theories and craftings with the Gacha theory with Genshin pack can be very confusing, guys, so let me do a quick summary of what's happening. So the number 1 theory is that, which also confirms to be working, is that if you do single summons, if you get a 5-star, the rest of your summons can be saved for the next 90 pool, which is kind of apparent, but what people often miss is that multiple pools don't count towards the next pool. Even the 5-star item is the first item on the 41st pool. It doesn't count the next 9 pools, I believe, so all of the 10 pools are kind of wasted. It doesn't accumulate. If you're doing the single summons, the summons you don't summon because you already got on the 44th pool, they do accumulate for the next 90 pools because technically you're summoning them after you got a 5-star item. The next part of the second theory is a procedural number generator with the speculation of gacha system. We're trying to see when is our account abnormally lucky at a certain interval. This doesn't have to be having to get a 4-star item or 4-star artifact. It can be something that you feel their account is extremely lucky at this moment. Then if you consider to be summoning, it's more likely for you to get something good if you time yourself within the interval. Because we don't know what the interval is, so it's harder for us to time, but sometimes you can kind of go with the feeling. It's harder to confirm this, and no gacha games ever tells you how frequent those intervals is. Now before we finish, guys, it is very important for you to understand this whole theory crafting video for the summons and gachas is not to promote spending. It is to help us to understand the gacha system and maybe try to get a little luckier when we can within the game, and also save precious resource with theory 1. With theory 1 you can save up to 6 or even more summons as you stop summoning when you do the single summons. Whether you do the single or the multi-summon, it's up to you. Both of the theories seems to be valid, but both of those needs to be more tested. The single summon does work, but it doesn't give you the abnormal luckiness. And also I want to share with you guys, before I was spending money on buying the currencies, what I was thinking and things I was considering. First one is I was sitting on the 100% gacha guarantee, and this is worth some money. What that means is I was guaranteed to get the banner item, which is Klee or whatever banner unit was, maybe Shell in the future. So this is worth $50 to $100 worth of gems because it's a guarantee that was in my account. And also I was 50 pools away from 90, and this is also a currency or resource. So this is worth about $25 to $50. In total, those two things in my account before I summoned was worth at least $75. Now, if you do want a detailed video of what I mean by those things worth money, come back to our previous video if you can and have a look at the first 2 parts. I talk about the personal banner history and talk about what you should think about before pulling on the banners. Are you spending some of the resources that you're not aware of? Next up, I also considered, do I actually needed Klee, and also do I needed a pile DPS. For my account particularly, I did need her, so that's for the game aspects. But what is my budget? So before considering my budget, I did get a generous donation before the summoning session, and this also helped me with the deciding whether I want to spend as well. If I didn't get a donation and I got Kaching before that, so I'll probably not spend anything, I'll just play with Kaching. Because with my free-to-play resources that's accumulated for the past 20 days, I don't think I have enough to level both Kaching and Klee together as well. So in knowing that, I wasn't, I wasn't prepared to spend too much money in getting her because I already got a 5-star item or 5-star character. But having the donation made me, there's more incentive to get her because I was so close and I'll try her out. I want to make more content with her. And lastly, I always talk about it. Did I wait before I spent real money in the game? I did wait. So you saw the previous video. I said I'll wait for at least a few hours. I'll sleep over it. I did. And in the morning, I waited a little bit longer to think about it. I even made more research and more guide about the gacha system. I even started to play the games until I got the 4-star artifact. And I was like, okay, this works because it's like 2 birds with 1 stone. I can test all the theories I have, and I can test how lucky the account is. Also, with the help of the donation, I can try to go for Klee. Now, if you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe and also turn the little bell on for the latest news. I'll be looking towards to make more builds, guides, tips, and news and event updates for us as we come further into the game. And as always, I wish you guys the best of luck with Genshin and have the most fun in exploring this wonderful world.